So, while hanging around at home, flicking through Netflix, I came across a show that I didn't actually know existed until I looked at it on the next Netflix categories. I saw the Big Show has his own sitcom. Yeah, the Big Show. Now, growing up in the 90s, I used to be actually a massive fan of the Big Show. I mean, I wouldn't say he was my ultimate number one favourite wrestler, but I do remember him, he used to have the choke slam. And then later on he had this knockout punch about, I'm going to knock you out. And even I remember in WCW when he was the Giant and he had this big poofy hair everywhere and everything. And that was cool. And then he was like, in the WWE, he'd be a heel, then he'd be a babyface, then he'd be a heel, then he'd be a babyface, then he'd be a heel, then he'd be a babyface, then he'd be a heel. Yeah, you get the point. But now he has his own sitcom. And yeah, it was interesting. So what's the premise of this sitcom? Basically, the Big Show has a family and he's retired. So it's him, he lives with his wife, and there's 2 kids to begin with, but he has another kid from a past relationship who's now coming to stay with him. And then it's all the dynamics of the family life and all that lot, and seeing how the Big Show himself deals with it. Also, Jaleel White is in this TV show, this sitcom as well, and that was pretty cool to see him get some work. Those of you who don't know who he is, he used to be in Family Matters and he played Urkel, so Steve Urkel. So Urkel is in this show, which is decent, and I did enjoy it. There was one episode where you got a cameo from who did you get a cameo from? That's it. You got Mankind and Mick Foley and Rikishi and the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. That was pretty cool. That I enjoyed watching. But that's because I'm a wrestling fan. In terms of the story itself, it was good. Yeah. I admit, I'm not the target demographic for this, because I'm not a kid. So I know that this show is for kids. I'm not a kid, so a lot of the jokes I was like, yeah, cool. But there was one joke I found quite funny in the whole series. Man, there's about 8 episodes of this, and there was one joke which I found funny. And it's basically where Big Show and his daughter are having a little contest, and she goes, I was born ready. And then he goes, actually, you were born 3 weeks early, so you were never ready. And I was like, what? So that was a funny joke. I might have completely quoted it wrong, but that I actually found pretty funny, because it was quite ruthless. The rest of it was kind of hit and miss. The gist of the show is, it's about the Big Show coming to terms with retirement, and it's playing on the themes of what purpose do we have? So if we originally had a purpose, that purpose is now gone. Now, what purpose do we have following this? And it's this whole dynamic with him getting to know his children, to getting to grips with his family life, which is an interesting premise. But they didn't really build on it that much. It was just like there's one bit towards the end of the season where he's about to go away to wrestle for a comeback, but then he realises, oh, my kids are more important. So it's balancing what is more important and what is not. Kid shows these days, not that I watch a lot of kid shows, because I'm in my late 20s, very late 20s, so I don't watch a lot of kid shows. But I do remember kid shows, some of them actually had good storylines. Some of them did. Like Saved by the Bell, we'll watch back at it now. Some of it looks a bit cheesy, but Saved by the Bell had some good storylines and touched on some real themes, which was pretty good. We had we also had Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is seen as a classic Nickelodeon show. If we look at English shows, Biker Grove. Biker Grove used to touch on some real themes. Ant and Dec used to be in Biker Grove, and Ant got shot with paintball guns in his eyes. He was blind after that. And there was other things, like we had Grange Hill as well. So there were kid shows which did deal with real themes. I mean, Grange Hill had a death. some kid drowned or something. So it's just, so you can touch on these themes, but what they do a lot, I find with kids shows today, they don't really touch into them anymore. They're like these these real scenarios that kids will deal with. Hey Arnold always used to deal with these types of scenarios. If you watch an episode of Hey Arnold, it is really well written. Whereas this, I don't know, again, like I said, I'm not the demographic, but I can't imagine many kids really liking it that much when there's so much choice out there. I mean, if we look at kids shows today, Horrible Histories is basically a sketch show which teaches you about history, and it's actually decent. It's not shit. It's actually decent. Some of it's actually quite interesting to watch. So you can make kids shows which are good. It's just this one isn't very good. It's just yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it's terrible, but I will never say like it's amazing. It's just okay. That's all I'm going to say on that one. So that's my review for this. I hope you liked it. I know it was pretty terrible, my review, because I actually finished watching it yesterday, but today I thought I'd review it. Really, I should have reviewed it yesterday, but because I had things to do, you know. Yeah, I had more things to watch. I watched another good one. I watched Abducted in Plain Sight. Now that I will review later on, but that is interesting. But yeah, if you're into, what I would say about the Big Show, if you're a wrestling fan and you just want to see the Big Show and see some cameos from wrestlers, yeah, by all means give it a shot. But if you actually want some decent storytelling, it's not the best. But, you know, it's something to watch. It's something to pass the time, I'll put it like that. Right. I've been Tharun Chelley. This has been Total Obvious Comedy. Not the most funniest of videos, I admit, because I'm reviewing a TV show. But we will build up from this. Right? See you guys later. Peace out.